Another trek. Southeast Malawi this time. Come down here on a lovely 2-week holiday, and part of the holiday is to climb Mount Mulanje, which is that hill behind me. Can't really see it yet. It's in the cloud. 3,300 metres above, no, so just over 3,000 metres above sea level. And Jill and I are going to, it's going to be a 4-day walk. We're being guided up by the local men from the village, and we'll be back after 4 days. So really looking forward to it. We've climbed over 3,000 feet now on this particular climb. We're coming up onto the plateau very soon, and as I bring this round, you can see the village that we've climbed up from on the plain. It stretches away towards Blantyre, which is the second city of Malawi. So we're coming up to the final part of the climb today, and I'm looking at Jemba Peak, which is on the opposite side of the valley that we've climbed up. Beautiful evening light. Temperatures dropped off quite nicely now, and we've probably got about half a mile to go to get into camp. Well, here we are at the end of day one. It's an enormous tent. I haven't slept in a tent this size for years. Very lucky. We're paying for the porterage. Employs local people, and they carry everything up onto the mountain. So even though it's a little bit embarrassing about what's being carried up on our behalf, we know it's part of the local economy. So we're here at Camp 1. We've walked about 8 miles today and climbed about 5,000 feet. You can just hear some thunder in the distance, and the clouds are really building, so we may have a bit of rain this evening. And that's the end of day one, so tomorrow we'll be up early and start a day two. Good morning. Day two. It is 5:30. It's a bit antisocial, but we're having breakfast at 6 and trekking at 7. The thunder and lightning which you will have seen in the video, we had a really big electronic storm come through when we were having our dinner last night. Really spectacular and really heavy rain. Thankfully the tent didn't leak that much, a little bit in the corner, but it was well away from where we're sleeping, so that's okay. And it stopped raining just before we got to bed. So this morning we are going to be leaving this camp, climbing up onto the col that we descended from, and then an undulating route which will take us to, they're calling it base camp, where we'll be camping because we will be summiting Mulanje tomorrow. So, start day 2, looking forward to it. So we're coming to this up to this path junction now, and the mountain on the horizon, you can't see the summit we're going to, but the summit we're going to is called Sapitwa, and it's beyond that ridge up there. So we've got to climb up onto the just there's a path below that horizon, and we're going to go from the right to left over in that direction to where the cloud is, and then we're going to go round the back to the camp, and we'll be climbing to the summit tomorrow. Got to say, it's a really enjoyable walk. It's a little bit slow, and that's fine because there's lots to see. We're in a group. We're being guided by a local man who is called George. He's a mechanic by trade, but he guides people on Mount Mulanje. Really interesting guy. So we're going at the pace of the group, really, which is fine. We haven't got a lot to do today. And we're above the forestry now, and on the grassland, and the scenery is just epic. We start early because the hot air builds up in the morning, and as it gets higher and higher and higher and hits the colder atmosphere above, then it condenses. So the hill is always in the cloud in the afternoon. So that's why we're starting early. It's now 20 past 11. We've been going for about 4 hours, and at some point we'll be having some lunch. So. Reminds me very much of a UK landscape when you get the Rocky Mountains. They look like very much like Scotland in many ways, although you don't see too many yucca trees on the hills in Scotland. Here we are, just arriving at our second camp, and from here we're going to climb to the top of Mount Mulanje, which is Sapitwa, which is a 600 metre-ish climb from this camp, and we'll be doing that tomorrow morning. And you know, these are the facilities, room with a view, and the tents are already up as well. And here's that. So yeah, great day. We've done about 7 to 8 miles. Nice steady pace. It's now 2:10, so we've got a nice afternoon to relax, and I think I'm going to go and get in that stream and cool down and wash off the salt of the day. So we'll see what tomorrow offers us. Looks like we're going to be going straight up. There we are. We know we've got some scrambling to do, so that's where we'll be going. There will be no cloud in the morning, hopefully, because as I said in an earlier piece, the cloud condenses as the day goes on with the hot air rising off the plane. In the morning it's usually clear. Right, see you tomorrow. Good morning. Day 3 of this trek, and we're going to be summiting Sapitwa this morning, which is the highest point on the Mulanje mountain. Good sleep, no rain at all last night. A little bit of cloud on the top, and we're going to be going up in that direction. Let me just get that right. Yeah, we're going up there. The summit is beyond that, but I said yesterday 650 metre climb. It might be 800 metres. The jury's out on that one. But it is what it is. It's going to take us 5 hours to get up and back, and then we'll come back here for some lunch before we trek on to the next hut. So it's 5:10 in the morning, and breakfast at 5:30, and we're going to be leaving the camp by 6. So you can just see in the centre of the picture there the camp that we've come up from. So it's been straight up, a bit of scrambling, and we've gained already a couple of 100 metres. Fantastic light this morning over the hills, with the plain beyond and other lower hills coming out of the plain. It's lovely. Group's just having a 2-minute break here. Just popping into the sun, been in the cloud for about half an hour or so. It's perfect Brocken Spectre conditions, but we haven't had one just yet, but I think there's a really good chance that we will. Some of my friends will know that I've never experienced a Brocken Spectre, despite the many hours in the hills. So hopefully today's the day. So we're at 2,880 metres above sea level. We've been scrambling up big boulders, going through tunnels, been on our hands and knees to get through some of the tunnels because they're so low. The cloud is just starting to build, but the summit is clear, so we haven't got long to go now. But these boulders are huge and you can just see people behind me scrambling up, but it's really good fun. We'll worry about the descent later. Well, this is a relatively benign stretch. It's a mere walk over some easy boulders. It's very difficult to record and scramble and crawl through tunnels at the same time. So you'll just have to take my word for it that we have been crawling and scrambling. But this is the last pitch up to the summit. That's the summit there. So in about 10 minutes we'll be on the top of, I'm told, the highest mountain in Central Africa. So Kilimanjaro is the highest mountain in Southern Africa. Mount Toubkal is the highest mountain in Northern Africa. And Mulanje is the highest in Central Africa, which for me will be a trilogy because this is I've done the other two. So it's a nice little addition to the collection. Anyway, not long to go. We'll record at the summit. We are then. Just over 3,000 metres, the highest mountain in Malawi, Sapitwa, Mount Mulanje, highest mountain in Central Africa, with magnificent views all the way around. It's taken us just over 4 hours to get here. And I think it's going to take us long to get down. It's so scrambly, but really fun. Lots of rocky crevices, big boulders. We've even had to use the ropes, as you've seen in the video. But highly, highly enjoyable. Just zoomed in on that faint hill on the horizon. We're on Mount Mulanje, that's Mulanje, and that's in Mozambique. We're not far from the border in the southeast of Malawi with Mozambique. Maybe another hill to do in the future, eh? made it down. Really great day out. Can't begin to describe how much fun that was today. I think we didn't use our hands for only about 100 metres on leaving the huts here this morning. For the rest of the day we've been using our hands as we've been scrambling up Sapitwa and climbing to the top, and it's just been absolutely fantastic. The views have been great. I didn't get my Brocken spec that I thought I would get at one moment. Using the ropes was sensible, we had to do that. There were a couple of pitches where it was difficult to get a good hand grip, so the ropes just were there as an extra bit of security to pull ourselves up on, and likewise when we were coming down the hill just to let ourselves down on them. Not technical at all, good fun, and everyone enjoyed themselves. So I'm not going to do any videoing tomorrow. We'll be walking down to the village tomorrow, and it'll be similar scenery that I recorded in the first 2 days. So I'll sign this video off now, just saying that I cannot overemphasize how good Mount Mulanje is, how lovely Malawi is as a country, and how much fun there is, and the people are great. And our guide today, George, he earned his stripes today. Really good mountain guide. Really good team of people working with him as well, and they all wanted to go up there. It wasn't a case of they were working for him and had to go up. The guys were telling us some of them only been up there once or twice, and they wanted to go up because it's an unusual thing for them to do as well. George is different. He's a mountain guide. This is his job, and you really saw how professional he was today with guiding people up and down the hill. So yeah, hope you've enjoyed seeing what we've done. If you feel inspired and are interested how we booked this through a company called K Adventure. It's a Keswick-based company that have trips all over the world, and they're using a local firm, and they then look after us in their country. So if you're looking for it, looking for a good trip, that's something completely different, highly recommend coming out to Malawi. This is just a follow-up from the last video I made. I said I wouldn't do any more recording, but on the descent we came down some lovely, wonderful waterfalls, one of which we went swimming in, and also I decided to speak to George, who was our guide, and you will see an interview that I did with George on our descent. He talks about how many years he's been guiding for and what his aspirations are long term. Lovely man, and it was nice to give him the opportunity to tell us all about his life. So that's going to be on the video as well. So this is a post-walk video, which I'm going to slip into the video just to give you some context as to why there are now some videos after I said that was the last I was going to be doing some recording. So, this is George.
Yes.
George, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm George Kamanga.
Okay.
Staying here in Malawi, mainly in the base of Mulanje mountain. And now I'm still working as a guide. I've got almost 11 years experience, and now it's like the way down trip after doing our highest point in Mulanje, which is called Sapitwa. Then we divert all over to the waterfall, swimming there, having some lunch. Now we are going to the end of our route to the place which is called the Gateway.
The Gateway. Okay, lovely. So you've been a guide for 11 years. How many times do you think you've been up to Sapitwa?
It's unforgettable because I've been there for several times. So
Yeah.
it's difficult to remember how many times I've been there.
But you are one of the main guides on this mountain,
Yes,
and you've got a good team of people working with you as well.
yes.
How many people do you have working with you this time?
This time I'm working with around 11 people
Yep.
with me, but one of them decided to go down by herself,
Yeah.
and I'm remaining with 10 people,
Yeah.
which are finishing with me.
Okay, perfect. So we're going back down the hill. We've been up to Mount Mulanje. You work as a guide, but you also got another job, haven't you?
Yes.
So what's your other job?
My job right now, I'm not yet being experienced, but still I'm doing my motor vehicle mechanics
Yes.
in Blantyre,
Yes.
and I'm remaining only with 2 more years
Yes.
for me to get finished.
Perfect. So you'll be a fully qualified auto mechanic,
Yeah.
and you've got one big aspiration, haven't you? What would you like to do?
Yes. Then I would like to apply one of the other people's garages
Yeah.
for more to have like a profession.
Yes.
Then thereafter, my plan, I would like to open my own garage,
Yeah.
which is maybe very perfect as well.
Great stuff.
Yep.
Oh, George, can I just thank you for leading us up Sapitwa. It was a really, really good day yesterday.
Okay.
Thoroughly enjoyed it. Thank you very much for
Welcome.
everything you've done. You're a really professional guide.
Welcome.
And you're very caring. You've looked after everybody. So thank you very much indeed.
Welcome for that. Also, I would like to say thank you for yourself because of being part with us. You are so kind as well. Sharing idea, eating the food together, everything is good.
Lovely.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you, George. Thank
Yeah.
you.